Hello, hello. I'm the official name raider. My job, shit, I don't know how to say this idiot's name. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking at, I believe it's pronounced Deino, which is fucking stupid, Zweilious, and Hydreigon. I'm coming at you from the audio quality of 2009 to rate these nicknames. Signature trainer, totally fine with doing that namesake. I feel like Getsus is going to be associated with Hydreigon pretty well. One of my favorite things that I actually didn't learn until I think False Swipe Gaming did their video was the idea of like Hydreigon having max frustration in combination with Getsus's missing eye, and I think that's such a cool detail. So yeah, totally fine with naming it after the trainer. So I actually really like this concept, but I don't feel like it fits Hydreigon because Hydreigon is a dragon with 3 heads, not a snake skull, which honestly kind of looks like the symbol for a band or whatever. But no, I think that's really cool. I just think that's better fit for a snake Pokemon, and honestly, considering how snakes are for whatever reason troubled with nicknames, and like a lot of them try to lean into Harry Potter but are just terrible, I think this one's probably one of the best Harry Potter related ones next to Slytherin. Maleficent we've seen many times in the past before. I'm fine with that. We're just gonna say generic dragon type nickname. I don't know how many other black dragons we have in the world of Pokemon, so this one might be the best in terms of color. That's about where it ends. Maybe Zekrom, an actual black dragon, could also work. Death Eater is also a really good name that's Harry Potter related. I mean, again, I think snakes. I guess people are looking at this guy and thinking Serpentine, and it's whatever, it's your perception. I'm not going to argue with you about it. But yeah, I like the name Death Eater. I think that one's good too. Names after bands are totally fine with me. We've seen Pantera in the past before. I'm not personally a fan of Pantera. I don't know any of their songs. I've probably heard it, just don't know it. But yeah, if you want to do it after a band, go crazy. Only now that I really like pay attention and actually look at the name do I realize it's literally just the name Hydra, but in a bastardization form. And I mean, hey, it works. Here's what it looks like. You get it? Because Kid Icarus is based off Greek mythology, like every other nickname on the internet. Okay, so I saw this one right here, and I kind of just ignored it. And then scrolling down a little bit further, there it is again. And I looked over the comment suggestions because I just had this feeling that there's your Godzilla reference. So here you go. If you want Godzilla, we got that. Also, I saw this and ignored it too. I did a Google and that was there, but this is another suggestion from Chaotic as well. So, Final Fantasy, you want a reference to that? When I Googled it, it said Dungeons and Dragons, and then there was also something that I think just said mythology, but hey, another idea for you. I gotta be honest, I didn't expect to see all 3 of Chaotic's so quickly. So here's another suggestion in reference to Link to the Past. So, if I'm honest, I kind of forget most of the Link to the Past's boss names, but here's another suggestion for you when going provided by Chaotic. Help explain to me, so at least now when I see something and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is, now I know what it is. You know, if there's one thing I'm grateful for, it's the fact that there's so many other nickname suggestions for this Pokemon that at least anyone that looks up nickname suggestions probably won't pick any of these. At least nobody with a brain will pick them. So, Dragotha, no. Destroyer, there's your typical wanna sound cool but end up looking like a dork kind of shit. Dracaeos, no. Deathwing, same shit. And Berserker. All of them, like, you have 2 things that are just like pretty cringe and just random, and you're just like, bro, what the fuck? And then you got things that's like, here's a class of zombie in Call of Duty. It goes one of 2 directions, and both directions are bad. I don't know if this was intended, but I do support the Metal Gear Solid thematic with the fear, the boss, the end, etc. So like, I like that one. I feel like that's going to be a good one, especially because, I mean, I think fear is a good choice for something that would look like that. A reminder, if Pokemon were real, this thing would be horrifying to bestow your eyes upon. I recognize this name, but I wasn't sure. I was decently sure it's Zelda. Yeah, it's Zelda, and apparently in the cartoon he's got 3 heads, but in the game he's got like 2 heads or something. I don't know. Here's the in-game sprite. But there's a different Zelda 1 boss for you. Something we don't see that often, and I'm fine with that. And if I'm honest, I don't exactly think Gleeok is the best name. It sounds kind of bad, but Zelda 1's kind of bad, so what are you going to do? Alright, this was honestly not the direction I was expecting. We've seen things like Littlefoot in the past before, and I don't know. Personally, I don't really care for Land Before Time nicknames, nor do I think they're any good. But I especially didn't expect to see them with a three-headed dragon of death. So there's a choice. Long neck also being related. Fluffy I saw on Pokemon.net, partly as a haha so funny, but also doubling down as a remember the Sorcerer's Stone? The Philosopher's Stone for those of you in the UK? Yeah! So that could work, but I still don't care for it. I've seen Hades, chose to ignore it because it's just not that interesting. Medusa, same thing, not that interesting. Cerberus, same thing, not that interesting. Drogon, what the fuck? Ridley is a choice, but I don't feel like it's the best choice if you wanted to use that as a nickname. I think there are other Pokemon out there that's going to fit it a lot better. Okay, so I don't recognize this name, but if I'm honest, just the name Barf Belch is stupid. But in the endearing kind of way of stupid. So I'm actually kind of okay with that as a nickname. It's kind of like Barf Bag, I think that was his name, from Holes. It's that kind, because I'm pretty sure it was Holes. Where it's like, it's dumb and it's bad. But as a nickname, it's kind of tolerable. Barf and Belch. Okay, so we've reached the bottom. I feel like we've seen a decent variety of things. If I'm honest, most of them I'm not crazy about, but hey, this is also about you guys too. Somehow, the internet didn't come up with a single suggestion for the spreadsheet, so I don't know how they managed to fuck that one up. But we'll go over the comment suggestions just to bring up back things that were highlighted. So we talked about Ghidorah. I saw that one a lot. Just know that if you choose to go with it, it's a very popular choice. Kevin, which that's just the name of any other asshole. You probably know a few Kevins in your life, so that might be a meme for Godzilla or whatever, but I just don't care for it as a nickname. When I think of Kevin, I'm gonna think of Home Alone. There you go. T-Mac we saw, Trinex we saw Gleeok as well, and then he also decided to take notes for other people's online battles and stuff, and I'm okay with Threefold. I think that one's decent. Majority of the ones he put down for online battles were pretty awful, but this one was at least okay. Getsis was okay as a signature trainer. Oh, I forgot, we keep doing this! Fuck! Drax the Destroyer. I'm fine with that one. And look, Drago, there's your take a shot. It's fucking stupid and I hate you. 33 people agree with me. Maleficent was good. Aragon, I mean, we see that often with most dragons, but I don't really think I'd put it on Hydreigon. I mean, I guess it's blue. Alright, so I've never heard of this. It sounds straight up 100% like an actual dinosaur. Apparently it's Marvel, and then it says Fantastic Four. That's something I didn't know about. Dodrio. Don't name it that. Okay, now we have officially looked at everything. I try and do ranker last because it has no explanation, and it's usually a bunch of shit that I see other places. So there's our summary of the video. I'm not going to re-emphasize it. The other things I had written down and planned were Fortitudo, which was what I initially had, and then, because, you know, Bayonetta, and that was my idea. And then later, I thought of a different one, which I like better, and I'm 100% sticking with, and yeah. And that's Yamadron, the Yu-Gi-Oh card. That was a card that I was like, oh, this is cool, I want it. And sometimes just a name or just a piece of artwork can make you like a card despite the fact that it's objectively trash. I never understood how they're like, these two cards are identical. That one's 4 stars, but this one's 5 stars. And it's just like, fucking, what's the point of even having it then? Because they have the same stats. Like, why can I place my robotic knight without having to sacrifice a soul, but I have to play the cool 3-headed dragon? What's the point of the fusion monster that only has 1200 attack? That guy sucks. Why am I wasting all this energy on it? There's problems I have with Yu-Gi-Oh! But Yamadron, I think, was a cool card, and Sacred Cards is pretty much the only time I ever got to use him, because Sacred Cards had weird as fuck rules. But those were my two ideas that were at least different from the internet. Any other ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones you think are good. Be careful about knives. I made the glorious mistake of grabbing a knife last night, and now it is very difficult for me to type. Also, if you didn't know, we're changing the upload schedule to Monday, Wednesday, Fridays from here on. You will no longer get videos on the weekend. If you didn't know this, there is a community tab on my YouTube, and you can look and watch me post dumb shit and then sometimes on rare occasions important shit.